Today we're going to be talking about two of the most exciting young centers in the NBA today, one of which is Karl-Anthony Towns, who is brightening up Minnesota's future, and the other is Joel Embiid, who would be Rookie of the Year, definitely, if it wasn't for his injuries. There's still a decent enough chance that he'll win the thing anyway. And we're going to look at these two guys and we're going to have a conversation of who would you rather have for the next 12 to 15 years of their career or whatever. And there's a lot of similarities between these two guys, but I think there's enough differences as well to where we could really come to a decision on this one. But first thing is we got to talk about what both of these guys do well, and they definitely do a lot of it well. Let's start with the three-point shooting. Towns is around 34% from three, Embiid is around 36% from outside, and this really just shows you how much different the NBA is today, where centers like these guys who even a decade ago wouldn't be asked to shoot three-pointers, and now they have it as real weapons in their game, and it's so difficult to defend big men who can be effective from outside because it forces the defense to have to make some decisions. You know, do we put our conventional center on them and take them out of the paint, which could make it easier for the rest of their team to score because there's no one protecting the rim? It's very difficult, and I mean, it's just a hell of a weapon to really have, and they both have it already, and they're very early on in their careers, so we assume that they're only going to get better on these outside shots that they're taking. It also makes them always viable for pick and pops. You have to be ready to either switch or get back to them immediately, which can also make it easier for their point guard to attack the teeth of the defense and perhaps finish at the rim, drive and kick out to someone. Both of these guys are very good from outside. Now, Embiid is a bit better from three as well as his mid-range, but I do think they're close enough between the two to where you extend their careers out a bit more, and I think they're going to be about the same when it comes to their shooting. Both of them provide spacing, and they both can really confuse the defense and just make them come up to it with a tough decision. Now we got to talk about their abilities to score in the low post, because both of them are very good here as well. We may be in 2017, and some post-up big men are being kind of taken out of the league or put on the bench, guys like Greg Monroe, Enes Kanter. The difference between Towns and Embiid is they have abilities outside of just being able to post up, which we will get into more as we go here, to where you're content with them slowing down your offense at times and just going to work on the low block. And they both can create their own shots, and they both give you a lot of versatility when it comes to half-court offense, because you can just dump it down to them, and chances are they're either going to finish well or they're going to be fouled. But we can also talk about their ball handling. Both of them have the ability to take the ball up floor, as well as beat other big men off the dribble. I've seen more than once where these guys have hit teams with crossovers, between the leg moves, spin moves, and they look kind of like point guards or shooting guards with how they're attacking the defense. And I mean, they were already tough enough to deal with given their post-up abilities and shooting, but now if they can beat other bigs off the dribble, that's just really tough, man. They both have that ability. I mean, these are two special players for a reason, and I also want to talk about their passing. They're both averaging around 2 assists a game right now, which is already decent enough for big guys, but given that they're, Towns is in his second season, Embiid's in his first, and Embiid's only 30 games into his NBA career, I think these guys, given how good of scorers they are and the passing that they've already shown, they can be backbones for NBA offenses. I mean, Embiid pretty much already is, and Towns you could say the same thing for. And they're both strong on the glass as well. Embiid gets about 8 a game, but on a minutes restriction, and Towns just averaged 12 rebounds a game this season, so I expect them both to be effective when it comes to grabbing rebounds. So these guys do a lot of things well, but now it's time to talk about their differences, and specifically some of the weaknesses they do have, because they're not perfect just yet. Joel Embiid, for as awesome as he is, actually shoots like 36% in the paint, which is under the league average. So he might be awesome at the basket, but that tells me that when it comes to perhaps hook shots or sometimes turnaround jumpers, when he's unable to get right to the basket, he actually has kind of a tough time at putting it in there. I mean, again, under league average in those areas. So as of right now, perhaps the one way you could slow him down is just to put someone physical on him when he wants to post up. That's the one thing I can point out with Embiid, whereas on the flip side of things, Towns shoots 50% in the paint, which is way above the league average of 41%. So it seems that Towns is just a little more crafty when it comes to perhaps hook shots and shots at odd angles when there's perhaps a good defensive center in your face. I mean, that is a skill you're definitely going to need, and it seems that he's just a little farther along in that department than Embiid is at this very moment. Which means that as of right now, you can run pretty much any sort of offensive play for Towns. You can run a majority of plays for Embiid, but perhaps there's just one specific area that isn't the best for him, whereas Towns, it's awesome. But we can also talk about Karl's weaknesses, which is defense. I think we all jumped the gun a little too quickly on the T-Wolves this season. They got Tom Thibodeau, and we expected them to just be an awesome defensive team, or at least pretty good. Not the case, and it's definitely not for a lack of effort, and he's looked better as the season has gone along, but it is definitely true that he's just going to need some more time to be an effective defensive big man when it comes to just recognizing when to help, when to switch, reading the scouting reports better, being able to help off of a pick and roll and then change direction to defend the guy receiving the dump off pass. It's tough to play defense in the NBA, man, and I'm confident Towns will get there. But as of right now, Joel Embiid is awesome on the defensive side of the floor. When he's in the game, the Philadelphia 76ers defensive rating is 101, which is better than the Golden State Warriors. He made the 76ers, the team that's been terrible for a long time now, a decent defensive team. Not a decent one, a very good defensive team when he's in the game. And for that reason alone, we have to imagine that he can be elite defensive player because he pretty much already is, and he's 22 years old. Just give him more time to mature and get smarter on that side of the floor, combined with what he can do physically. I mean, he could be one of the best defensive players ever. And I think those are our two real differences between them, is Embiid has to work on finishing in the paint, and Towns needs to work on his defense. So I guess we can talk about the chances of which one of those is going to improve and which one's going to happen first. Like I said, I definitely believe that Towns is going to grow to be a very good defensive player because, one, like I mentioned, he's been better as the season's gone. He seems to really want to be a defensive player. He's got Tom Thibodeau as a head coach. And given his agility and his verticality and all that, he has the physical gifts to be really good on that side of the floor. It's just taken a little bit of time. So I do assume he's going to get there, but he is not there at this moment. And if I have to compare that to whether Joel Embiid is going to get better at finishing inside the paint, I think I have to side with Joel Embiid correcting that one area of his game before Towns really becomes an awesome defensive player. I mean, Embiid has already shown some great post abilities and hook shots and spin moves and pump fakes and shots at weird angles and straight up just dunking on guys sometimes. So he's awesome when it comes to scoring at the basket. I think this is just the next little step. Be able to hit a hook shot that's a little farther out. Karl-Anthony Towns is a fantastic player, and I don't think there's a wrong answer here. Well, there's definitely not. But I do think I need to side with Joel Embiid because I picture him correcting the weaknesses in his game before Towns does, and given how good he already is defensively, I think you gotta go with him.